Following Donald Trump's insane fascistic flurry of executive orders on day one of his presidency, we enter into day two. And thankfully, there was someone, at least one person, willing to stand up to him and say, hey, maybe don't be a total D-bag to everyone. They phrased it better, as you'll see.
Let me make one final plea, Mr. President. Millions have put their trust in you. And as you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving God. In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families. Some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors.
So that was something that was, I think, totally on point, totally accurate, well said. And we don't hear a lot of empathy in the things that tend to be in the news, but it's a church, so kind of seemed like the appropriate setting for it. Now, obviously, as that went on, Donald Trump started to get a little, I don't like this and what I want to hear. And JD Vance repeatedly looks to his wife because he wants to do the thing where you lock eyes and like you roll your eyes and you reveal that, at least for JD Vance, the whole thing of him supposedly being religious is a total cover story for probably a variety of different things. And she defies that. She doesn't look at him, and he starts whispering to her because he wants to conspire with someone, because JD Vance is annoyed at this religious leader. This is Bishop Mariann Edgar, I believe it's Budde. It might not be pronounced Buddy, but I'm gonna go with Buddy because I feel like she's our buddy right now for what she said. Is actually centering and holding on to and caring about people, the least powerful in our society, which seems like a thing that churches sometimes do, at least at one point. Anyway, we're gonna get to what Donald Trump had to say about all that, and you could probably guess, but that'll be fun. First though, we're gonna give you a little bit more of Bishop Budde, who was interviewed and said that she had decided to speak to the president directly because of, quote, the fear that I have seen and experienced among our people that I know and love, both within the immigrant community and within the LGBTQ community, and how terrified so many are. I wasn't necessarily calling the president out. I was trying to say the country has been entrusted to you, and one of the qualities of a leader is mercy, right? Mercy, and to be mindful of the people who are scared. Well, yes, that should be one of the responsibilities of a president, if the president feels any responsibility whatsoever, but unfortunately Donald Trump doesn't. It would certainly be one of the qualities of an actual Christian if he was one, and he is not. He doesn't believe in any of that. And so he finds the entire thing to be incredibly annoying, an affront to him. How dare this person purport to tell me what I should care about? And I'll just remind everyone, when Joe Biden came in, other than progressives who were worried that he wouldn't deliver, did anyone have cause to be afraid of what it meant that he was gonna be president? Did any community think, oh, I might die because of this. I might lose my rights. I might be shipped somewhere else in the world, where I come from or some other random country. Did anyone have cause to feel that sort of fear or anxiety? I don't think so. And when Bishop Budde delivered those remarks, it wasn't even hypothetical, not even to the extent of hypothetical, just drawing out of all of the things, the terrible dark promises he made during his campaign. He already showed on the first day that he's going to govern in the most maximalist, cruel, and evil fashion that we could have hypothesized. He already said with his executive orders, no, I'm gonna do the thing where we're gonna loot the country and all that, but to distract the rubes, we're going to go throughout the country and we're going to be rooting people out of their homes and communities and splitting up families and shipping them away and spending hundreds of billions of dollars to do so. And also we're going to play, the total identity politics thing of just, oh, you guys hate trans people now? Well, that's who we're going to go after. We're going to root them out. DEI is gone. We're going to do all that stuff. And so Budde's totally right to point that out. And look, she's been a critic of him in the past. She had previously said everything he has said and done is to inflame violence. That was coming after his photo op where they gassed a bunch of peaceful protesters so he could stand in front of a church and hold a Bible upside down. You remember that? So she was critical of that. And she also joined Pope Francis in calling out his mass deportation operations, which is just mechanized industrial cruelty. He's literally gonna be building concentration camps. Like, if our religious leaders do not stand against these things, if they don't speak out against these things, what are they worth? And so she's doing her job, and of course she will be attacked as a result of it. Yes, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this.
Yeah, well, we knew that there was going to be inauguration drama. He couldn't talk about the crowd size this time because everything had to be moved indoors because it was so cold in DC. So, he had to find something else to be mad about. But this pastor, she was incredibly brave for delivering this sermon, not just in front of Trump, but in a room full of Trump supporters. And she must have known that she was going to be attacked for what she said after the fact. She must have known that she wouldn't be addressing at the time a room full of people who are empathetic to members of the LGBTQ community or to immigrants, which are some of the groups that she mentioned. And you mentioned that this was happening in a church, which is the place where empathy and sympathy should be the governing emotions. But the reality is that the Christian right wing largely supports Donald Trump, not just conservative politics, but Donald Trump specifically. They've elevated him to the level of a messiah almost. And whether or not this should be the case, we see pastors across the country promoting right-wing politics and promoting Donald Trump, getting their entire congregations to pray for his success and to pray for him and his family and all kinds of things, which feels like they should be paying taxes if they're going to be giving sermons like that. But the reality is that as a pastor, seeing somebody come out in defense of these specific communities, it is a really, really big deal. It's incredible that she was able to have that platform and had the opportunity to do that. And yeah, she's getting flack for it. But again, she must have known and she must have been at least emotionally prepared for it.
Yeah. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.